What's up? What's up? Peace and love. Peace and love. So, let's talk about racism. The new racism, if you will. A lot of people maybe believe that racism isn't something we deal with no more. They're like, oh, it's 2021. That was a long time ago. Well, it's still here. It's very much still here. It just don't look like how it used to look. It's the dynamics have changed. It's like it's still there, but it's not like blatant and physical like it used to be. I'll give you a couple examples here in just a second. Yeah, it's like, so back in the day, they used to do shit like show up, like mobs of people would like show up at your house, you know what I'm saying? Mobs of white people would show up at like a colored person's house and be yelling outside and, you know what I'm saying, yelling racial slurs and throwing shit at the house and harassing people and all that type of shit. Then you'll call the police as a colored person and they'll come and tell you some shit like, oh, well, these people have the right to be wherever they want to be. They can, you know what I'm saying, they could do this, shit, you know what I'm saying, they come and protect the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, they used to like burn crosses in your front lawn and all that type of shit. Call you the N-word in public, you know what I'm saying? Like all that type of shit. Some of them might even slap you across the face. You know what I'm saying? There was designated parts of the restaurant that you couldn't sit in and shit like that, right? You couldn't sit at the front of the bus, Rosa Parks, all that type of shit. Right. Publicly hang a motherfucker in front of a mob of people while they cheering and taking pictures and all that shit, having a picnic and shit, right? Right. So it don't look like that no more. That's not how it looks anymore. Now it's more like behind closed doors. They still call you the N-word behind closed doors, make no mistake, they still do that. They just don't call it to you to your face. I know every now and then a video will surface of a white person using the N-word in public or somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like that happens, but it's not like it used to be. So now, the new racism, if you will. They're not gonna let you do the shit that they do to create generational wealth for yourself. That's what the new racism looks like. You're not gonna be able to see, they got hustles that you didn't even know could even be a hustle. They got licks and shit that you didn't even know, like you didn't even know you could even do that. How the fuck is a motherfucker making millions of dollars doing, like, I ain't even know you could do some shit like that. And they're not gonna let you do that type of shit. That's what the new racism looks like. So look, for an example, you know how when you go to a store, like say like Fred Meyer's or Nordstrom's or something like that, right? What are you actually doing? You're walking into a building, right? And on the top of that door it says Nordstrom's or Fred Meyer's or whatever, right? Okay, you're walking into a building. That's what you're doing. You're going in there to buy products, right? From this company called Fred Meyer's. Okay. Like I said, you're walking into a building. Now, Fred Meyer's is just a company. It's just a name. It's just like a brand. It's a grocery store, right? But the person that owns that building that you're going into to get your groceries, that's the type of shit that they're not going to let you do. So Fred Meyer's is paying somebody a very, very large sum of money every single month to lease that building so they can operate their business, right? I'm talking $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people at the very, very top. Like, they're called like shareholders or investors or the group or the board. You know what I'm saying? And them is the motherfuckers that get to take huge chunks of the profit every month, every quarter, every year. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard that saying, like, making money in your sleep? Or I got old money? Yeah, that's only white people. Only white people have old money, and only white people are making money in their sleep, real money. So, like I said, they own the building, right? Now, there's a million Fred Meyers all across the country. So, if somebody's getting paid $30, $40, $50,000 a month to lease this building to Fred Meyers and taking a chunk of their profits and all that shit, that's generational wealth. Like, that motherfucker is literally making money in his sleep. Nothing. You see what I'm saying? And they're not gonna let you do that. They're not gonna let you do the shit that they do to create generational wealth for themselves. They're gonna shun you out of that type of shit. So in other words, they'll let you look at the building, they'll let you work in the building, they'll even let you manage the building, but they're not gonna let you own the building. Okay, say you're a colored, a black man, an entrepreneur, right? And you trying to climb the corporate ladder, right? So you doing all your little shit, you building your credit, you leasing property, you're starting companies, getting LLCs, you know, so you doing all that shit, right? Getting loans and shit. You doing all this shit to climb the corporate ladder, right? Because you're an entrepreneur, right? So at some point in this climb of the corporate ladder, you're gonna reach a point to where you're gonna need like certain like permits and licenses and you know what I'm saying? You're gonna need shit like that to be able to move forward, and that's where they gonna fuck you up at. That's where you're gonna reach the point, your glass ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Because that type of shit up there is reserved for like certain people, certain people, you know what I'm saying? Certain people in the club, certain group, like shit, you're not privy to that type of shit. And they've been doing that shit for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. That's how you get this wealth gap. You know what I'm saying? How they own everything and control everything and all that shit. And you trying to get in, but you can't get in because they ain't gonna let you in. Y'all remember when Kanye was throwing a little tantrum about how he couldn't break into the fashion industry the way that he wanted to? Like he couldn't do the shit that he wanted to do because he kept getting told no by you know what I'm saying, by the people that he was trying to deal with. Well, that's because he's trying to enter to a level where he's not allowed to be at. You know what I'm saying? Like his glass ceiling, so to speak. So those people up there, those shareholders or whatever, you're never gonna be one of those. They'll let you work for them, but you ain't never gonna be one of the people that got a seat at the table that makes the decisions about where this company's gonna go and take a chunk of the profits. And they got motherfuckers that get $10 and $15 million bonuses every year, while employees are struggling and all that type of shit, right? They ain't gonna let you do that type of shit, and that's what the new racism looks like. They gonna shun you out of all the shit that really creates wealth. So you and your family and the family that comes from your family ain't gonna be just rich like them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the new racism looks like. It's not beat you up in your face, call you the N-word. You know what I'm saying? It's basically, I live like this and you live like that. My neighborhood looks like this and your neighborhood look like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the new racism, the new slavery or whatever. And now, since they done took everything, right? They done stole everything. They own everything. They done redlined all the property and created all the ghettos opposed to the rich parts of town, you know what I'm saying? And now they rent the shit back to you at a premium rate. All the shit you need. Shelter, food, You know what I'm saying? All that shit, you pay a premium rate for that shit. You know what a premium rate means? A premium rate means like top dollar, like top of the line, you know what I'm saying? Top price, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it means to you. But to them, it means maximum profits. You know what I'm saying? Because they selling the shit to you at probably about 4 or 5 times what it's actually worth or what they paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Because they own the shit. You know what I'm saying? They the shareholders. They the investors. They the ones who, you know what I'm saying? And that's the shit that they're not going to let you do. Right? Once you need a certain permit or a certain license or a certain connection to be able to break into something, that's where it's going to stop. You know what I'm saying? Because that corporate wealth shit, that was not designed for you. It was designed to control you. So now you want to break into the shit, and for some reason you can't. Well, you're not in the club. You know what I'm saying? But they'll let you work for them, though. You can work for me, and because you're small on the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? You're at the bottom. You're one of the people that prop the table up so that these motherfucking elites and high class people can motherfucking use the world as their own like playground. You know what I'm saying? They could jet set the earth and, you know what I'm saying, buy yachts and have multiple summer homes in extravagant places and all that shit. And they need you to be the worker to prop the table up, to come in and sell the products and shit, right? But you ain't gonna own the products. You ain't gonna own the building. You know what I'm saying? So imagine that. If a company got 150 stores nationwide, and you're getting 50,000 a month to lease it to the company that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's generational wealth, man. You do that for a couple hundred years, you're gonna be sitting on some billions and trillions of dollars, and now you own everything, and now your landlord is a white guy or an Asian guy. Right? Right. That's the new racism, man. Ain't nobody really talking about that type of shit because it done been set in for so long that it's just like it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, here's my advice. Start dealing with each other, man. Start spending your money with your people and in your communities. You know what I'm saying? Start supporting other people's endeavors and shit that look like you. You know what I mean? Stop taking your money to all them other motherfuckers and start supporting some motherfuckers' dreams and shit, man. Start getting behind your own people. You know what I mean? Because we basically, like, they've been doing this shit for hundreds of years, and we're just now basically getting hip to this shit. So we're like, the race is just getting started for us, but they done lapped us 1,000,000 times. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never gonna catch up to them. Like, you ain't, it just ain't gonna happen. So get together, man. Start supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? If your friend is starting a small business, spend your money with them, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop flexing and stunting on each other and ridiculing each other and all that shit. Because we all in this shit together, and that's the only way we ever gonna get out this shit is together. So yeah, man. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it. It's your boy D Twice is Nice. And until next time, peace.